Good afternoon and God bless you, my most amazing artists. How are you? Ready to create? I make messes, I make mistakes, but deep inside, I've got what it takes. I am an artist. All right, boys and girls, today in art class, we are going to learn how to draw a simple sandcastle. Now, boys and girls, I thought this would be the perfect project for our last art class video this school year. Something fun and relaxing to get us ready for the summer season. And what says summer more than a sandcastle? So we're going to use lines and shape to draw our sandcastle. And we'll know that our sandcastle is right when we've made it big and we've filled up most of our paper space. Now we're also going to use space to create the illusion of depth. And that's going to be by where you draw your horizon line. That will be behind your sandcastle. Then, of course, we will add color to our shapes. Even add some texture to create the illusion of sand in our sandcastle. And of course, contrast. We want to make sure that our sandcastle stands out and pops from our sky and our ocean water. All right, boys and girls, you're going to be able to make your own sandcastle today. And I have my sandcastle already done in crayon. Now, you can use crayons, you can use markers, you can even use colored pencils, oil pastels, or paint. Whatever you have at home is all right. Your picture will be amazing. All right, so my finished one here I did in all crayon. All right, and I showed contrast, okay, by using my black crayon to trace all of my lines and all of my details so that those objects stand out and pop from all my color. So don't forget to use something black. It could be a crayon, it could be a black marker, a black Sharpie, whatever tool you have that's black. Make those lines stand out. Okay, don't forget that part. And then you're going to use contrast with your color. So I have different blues here. I used brown and yellows inside my sandcastle doors. I've got even a dark brown shadow. I used green and orange and purple on my beach objects so that they stand out from the sand. And then I brought my yellow up into my sky with my sun. So that's how you can use color to show contrast. All right, so grab your sunglasses, your beach towel, don't forget your sketchbook, and whatever tools you're going to use to make your sandcastle with today. Get whatever you need ready to get you in the mood for creating your very own sandcastle picture. All right, so I'm gonna move my crayon art to the side, and I've got my next page in my other sketchbook ready. You wanna turn your paper so that it's in the wide position. All right, you want it wide so that you get to make the biggest sandcastle you can to fill up your paper space. All right, So we definitely want to fill up our paper space with the largest sandcastle we can fit. All right, and I'm gonna take you step by step on how to draw this sandcastle. I'm gonna use oil pastel, and then I'm gonna add color with paint later. But let's get started drawing. All right, the first thing we want to do is to draw towards the bottom of your paper. I've got about 2 finger spaces, and you wanna draw a wavy line for your sand. I'm gonna hold my paper down, and I'm just gonna draw a wavy line. It's just a curved line all the way to the edge of my paper so that that becomes the sand, my beach. All right. Next, I want to draw a horizontal short line in the middle of my paper. So here's the middle of my paper, and I'm gonna draw a short horizontal line. No wrong way to do that. This is gonna become the center of my sandcastle. And then you want to draw 2 vertical lines. You want one to come down on the left and one to come down and touch your sand line on the right. So go ahead and draw those next. There we go. Now we want to draw 2 vertical lines up from the top of our sandcastle. So I'm gonna go to the edge, I'm gonna draw a short line up, and I'm gonna go to the other edge on the right and draw a short line up. Okay, and that's gonna become the top of our sandcastle. Now we need to create a sandcastle line to connect the top of our castle. So to do that, I'm gonna go to the top and I'm gonna do side, down, side, up, side, down, side, up, and side. And I'm gonna connect. So I kind of have this little sandcastle line. It's horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. And that becomes our castle line. Now we want to draw 2 more castle lines, and I want those castle lines to come from the main shape of my castle here. So I'm going to do one on the left, and what I do on the left, I'm going to do on the right. So I'm going to do a horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal touching my sandcastle. All right, and then I'm gonna bring a line down to my sand. See how that's starting to look like a sandcastle? All right, so what I do on the left, I'm gonna go ahead and do on the right. Horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, and then we're gonna draw our vertical line all the way down to our sand line. Ta-da! We now have our sandcastle. All right, so in the next we're going to add some details. So we need to add some doors to our sandcastle. So those are rainbows, rainbow lines, or an upside down U, whatever you think helps you remember how to draw that line. So I'm going to do one in the middle here. I'm going to do one on the left and one on the right. Then I'm going to add a curved line, but only on one side of the door. Only on one side, I'm going to do a curved line. One side of the door, curved line. The same side on all 3 doors, so I'm going on to the right. All right, and that's going to be where our shadow is going to go. All right, now we can add some sticks, lines with some triangles attached to them. So that's going to become our flag. So I'm going to do one here. I'm going to draw a line up and then a sideways triangle. I'm going to come to this middle castle. I'm going to draw a short line up and then a sideways triangle, and then the last one on the right, draw a line up, and then a sideways triangle. Now I have 3 flags on my sandcastle. And now we can add other details to our picture. We can add a shovel, we can add a starfish, a seashell, sunglasses, maybe you want to add a beach ball. Whatever things that you'd like to add down in the sand, you can go ahead and add. So I'm going to add a little shovel here. I'm going to do a starfish. There we go. And maybe a seashell over here. Whatever details you want to add, you can add. All right. Oh, we need to add our horizon line. Now the horizon line is where the sky and the earth meet, or it can mean where the sky and the water meet. So in our beach picture today, it's going to be where the sky and the water meet. So it's a horizontal line, a line that goes side to side. And I'm going to put mine low in my picture because I want lots of sky showing. So I'm going to go from the edge of my paper and I'm going to draw a straight line, and then when I get to my sandcastle, I'm going to stop. I don't want to draw on my sandcastle. I'm going to jump over my sandcastle and then start at the edge of my sandcastle and draw all the way to the edge of my paper. There is my horizon line. So everything above this line is going to be my sky, and everything from that line to my sand line is going to be the ocean, and then everything from my sand line to the bottom of my paper will be my beach. All right, so you can go ahead and add any details you like in the sky. I'm going to add a sun, and that's just a simple circle or oval. And how about some clouds? I'm just going to add a puffy cloud here. And I've got room over here, so I'm going to add another cloud over here. And I'm just going to take this cloud right off the edge of my paper, pretend that it's a big cloud going off to the right. And then I've got my big cloud going off to the left. All right, I think I have all the details that I need. So I've shown contrast by drawing with my black oil pastel. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some color next. And I'm gonna do some of my picture with my oil pastels. So remember, oil pastels and watercolor paint are best friends. So I'm going to add some yellow inside my sun. And then I'm gonna add some yellow sun rays. I would like to make let's make my shovel green. Now I'm gonna color in my shovel green here. Now, if you don't have oil pastels but you do have paint, then you can use crayon for these little details here. I'm not gonna color everything because I want to paint too. And then I'm gonna do my starfish orange. I'm just gonna trace the outline and then fill it in. So crayons and oil pastels are watercolor's best friends. They won't cover each other up, and you'll get a nice resist technique that you can use. But if all you have are markers You can do your whole picture with markers. If all you have are crayons, then do your whole picture with crayon. It's all right. I'm gonna do my shadows. This shape here, I'm gonna do dark, and I'm gonna do it with the oil pastel. So it'll have contrast from the paint. And when I made that shadow in my crayon picture, all I did was press down hard on my brown crayon to make that brown shadow as dark as I could. And then I colored the inside of my door lightly with the brown. So just very, very lightly. And then I'm gonna do my flags red. And then I think I'll be ready for my paint. All right, I'm gonna start with my lightest color. My lightest color is gonna be my yellow. So I'm gonna start with yellow. Oh, you know what? Before I do, I almost forgot the texture. Here, I'm gonna grab my brown crayon again. Now, when you're coloring, I colored my sandcastle yellow. It was kind of that dandelion yellow. And then I did brown crayon dots for texture. So I'm gonna show you my dots using the brown oil pastel. So all I did was make random dots. So no particular, nothing in order. I just randomly put some dots all over my picture with my crayon. So I'm doing it here with oil pastel because this picture, I'm doing oil pastel and paint. So if you're using crayon, use your brown crayon right on top of your yellow that you used to show the color of your sandcastle. And if you're using marker, use your yellow marker to show the sandcastle, to color your sandcastle shape with yellow first. Let the marker dry completely, and then you can go back on top of that dry yellow with your brown marker and make your dots with your brown marker. And you'll create the illusion of gritty sand. So you're gonna give your picture what we call texture. All right, so I think I have enough texture made with my dots here. And now I'm ready to paint with my yellow. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with, let's just start with the castle. I'm just gonna trace my lines carefully and then fill it in. So I can go right over my oil pastel, and wherever I don't have any oil pastel, the paint will stick. I'm gonna trace my shape carefully, and then I can fill it in. I'm gonna trace my shape carefully. And fill it in. Be careful if you are painting. Remember, don't go over the same spot a bunch of times, as that could cause a tear in your paper. And you want to be careful with your painting skills. All right, now I'm gonna do my beach. So I'm just gonna, I can go right over my shovel. It's okay. Just gonna be really careful next to my water. picture down. And I can go right over my shovel because it won't cover up that amazing oil pastel color. All right, I'm gonna let that dry a little. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my, I'm gonna do my ocean next. Rinse out my brush. All right, I'm going to trace it carefully. If I mix my blue in with my yellow, I'm going to wind up making green. So I'm going to be really careful, stay inside my thick oil pastel barrier. And it helps to use the largest brush that you have to fill in your shapes. And now I want my sky to be a different blue. I'm going to rinse out my brush, and I'm going to smooth the side out before I do. I'm going to rinse out my brush, and then I'm going to do my sky color. And I want a different blue. If you don't have a different blue, you can use the same blue that you used for the water, just make it lighter. So if your water is really dark, then don't press down as hard on your crayon, and you'll get a nice light value of blue, and that will be different. It will stand out from the color of your water. Or maybe you did it the other way. Maybe you did your water light, so do your sky dark. Press down harder on your crayon for your sky. All right, I'm gonna go carefully around my cloud because I want to keep my cloud white. And then I can go right on over my sun, and my little sun rays are showing up. Yep, there they are. Wow, and looking at this picture, I can almost feel the warm sun on my face as if I were at the beach. Can you feel the warm sun on your face yet? Remember how that feels when you're at the beach? I do. Maybe one of your details, maybe you drew some seagulls, and maybe you can almost see them flying up high in the sky. Maybe as you're coloring your water, you can almost hear the waves lapping up on the seashore. Maybe it's getting ready to, the tide's coming in and it's gonna wash away your sandcastle. Oh no! But okay, because you can always build another one again, right? It's all right. Okay, I'm almost done with this left side of my sky. All right, I just have this part of my sky left to do. Tracing carefully around my white cloud. I want to keep my cloud white. When you're at the beach, do you smell the salty air when you're at the beach? I can almost smell it here, just pretending that I'm there at the beach, feeling the warm sun on my face, smelling the salty sea air. Hearing the seagulls talking to each other as they fly around in the sky. Maybe you feel the gritty texture of the sand in between your toes when you walk on the beach. All right. Now, if you're painting and you want to try adding the texture of the sand with some paints, I'm going to rinse out my brush. I let the yellow dry, and then you can come in with some brown, and you can even make little dots. In your sand. And that kind of gives the illusion, the texture. And because my yellow paint is still a little wet, the brown is kind of spreading out into my yellow. They almost look like tiny little stars. Little pieces of sand glistening. Very nice. And then I can rinse out my brush. And I can even add some brown in my doorway. Just a little bit. Very lightly, and it's going to blend in with my yellow. Kind of make it look more sandy colored. There. Oh, that's going to look really good when it dries. All right, boys and girls, my sandcastle masterpiece is finished. I hope that you had fun drawing your own sandcastle today. And I look forward to our next art project. Oh, there's my crayon one for you. And there's the painting. Happy creating, boys and girls. And until next time, bye-bye.